taking on Edgar Berlanga September the 14th in Las Vegas, Nevada at the T-Mobile Arena. The co-feature main event will be Danny Garcia making his middleweight debut versus Eris Lara. They haven't announced the other bouts on the undercard, but they're saying that it's going to be a very good undercard. It better be based off the fact that Canelo is fighting somebody of this caliber. Now, it was funny that Canelo, when asked why won't he fight David Benavidez, he said David Benavidez doesn't deserve a shot against him. He's done nothing. Who is he fought? Well, who is Edgar Berlanga fought for him to get a shot at 3 belts? You're -1 because they stripped you of the IBF because the IBF got tired of you basically, participating in these type of fights. At the end of the day, Canelo is a complete fraud. And this is why I don't sit up here and go in on certain fights that should be made according to you guys. Now, let's see if people go in on Canelo for making this fight. You can make an argument. Shout out to my guy Grant. You can make an argument that Edgar Berlanga ain't even a title contender. You know what I'm saying? He's a prospect. And when I say his resume is next to nothing, I'm talking about his resume is like those, low-end Jordans that they sell at Shoe Palace that nobody buys. And shout out to Mike Rich. He called them Air Jordan nothings. They're not even the Jordans that, they're not even Jordan brand. They're just Nikes with the Jordan name on it that nobody buys. That's where Edgar Berlanga is as a fighter. Keep in mind, Edgar Berlanga last year was suspended for biting somebody or attempting to bite somebody or whatever the case may be. And you have Canelo basically fighting this dude. All because this dude doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. It is official. It is obvious that Canelo does not think he can beat David Benavidez. I've suspected that for years. No matter how much people try to tell me that Canelo will do this to David Benavidez, he'll do that. Canelo doesn't think he can beat David Benavidez. And I think it's disgusting for him to just sit up here and just blatantly duck this dude. And then you got content creators that won't call Canelo out on this. And I don't want to hear Canelo has earned the right to fight Edgar Berlanga. Stop it. Stop it. Nobody asked for this fight. Just like nobody asked for a fight with Jaime Munguia. Nobody asked for the John Ryder fight. Canelo, nobody asked for a third fight with Triple G. But he's sitting up here saying that he's earned the right to fight who he fight because he's Mexican. But then these are the same people. If a black dude said this, it would be a frenzy, all-out frenzy. Oh, you can't say stuff like that. That's racist. It's amazing what people love to say is racist and what isn't racist. And these fake black content creators would have been making videos saying this, that, like I said, let Terrence Crawford say something like that. You have all these content creators attacking him, saying you can't say stuff like that. That's, this, that's that. But then these are the same people that gave Ryan Garcia a complete pass. These going to be the same people that's not going to say nothing. They're just going to announce the fight and that's it. But I'm the type of dude, I'm going to keep it 100. This fight is hot garbage. It is trash water. That's the difference between me and these other guys out here. You can't fool me. You cannot tell me. Anybody that tries to sell the fact of this fight being a great fight, or this is going to be a competitive fight, or this fight makes sense, you are a damn lie. Even Oscar said, his former promoter, and I know there are some issues between Oscar and Canelo, but even Oscar is like, come on, man. I would have been more acceptable of him fighting David Morrell versus him fighting Edgar Berlanga. I mean, what are we doing? And this is why I have the mentality that I have. This is why I'm different from these other dudes. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about who Terrence Crawford should fight. I don't want to hear nobody complaining about who Shakur Stevens should fight. I'm about to lay off Tank. Why should I sit up here and go in on Tank and Terrence Crawford and dudes like and Shakur Stevenson about their opponent selection, but Canelo fighting somebody like this? And then he expect people to pay for this. No wonder the UFC decided to book an event on the same day as Canelo, because they didn't respect, and Dana White knew Canelo wasn't going to fight David Benavidez. Had Canelo said he was going to fight David Benavidez, I don't think the UFC would have tried to secure a date at the Sphere. And by the way, the UFC has the first official, combat sports event at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Once again, they won up boxing again. You can say whatever you want to say about Dana White or UFC, but they have a system in place that appears to be working for them. And then, not to mention, they have the backing of a billionaire, or should I say a multi-billion-dollar company in Endeavors, the parent company that owns both the UFC and the WWE. So they have a machine behind them. They have big money behind them. Now, Turkey Al-Sheikh has got involved in boxing. I feel like Turkey Al-Sheikh is going to be more of a plus than a minus to boxing, because maybe we'll get the fights that we want to see for the most part, because he has a $45 billion credit line. So the man has $45 billion to play with. But at the end of the day, and then there's no guarantee. And some people go say, well, he's taking this fight, basically as a tune-up fight. So, basically, he don't take too much damage fighting Terrence Crawford. That fight isn't a go. I know David Benavidez has said that fight in all likely is going to happen, but nothing has been announced in regards to a official Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight. Keep in mind, Terrence Crawford said that he's going for undisputed at 154. If Canelo happens, it happens. But once again, it doesn't make sense. And it still would further prove that Canelo is a coward. Why would you fight somebody that just a year ago was 3 weight classes down from you? At the end of the day, you feel Terrence Crawford is a smaller dude, so you feel like you'll have more of an advantage towards him. But Canelo doesn't believe in himself like he wants us to believe. He doesn't think he can beat David Benavidez. He feels that that'll be a very difficult fight for him. And he feels in all likely he would lose that fight. And I think Canelo feels that he would lose that fight badly. I think Canelo feels that David Benavidez would possibly stop him. And I have to admit, David Benavidez's style is bad for Canelo. It's a bad matchup. But still, Canelo should be willing to pass the torch to somebody like David Benavidez. But that's what we have in this day and age. You have selfish boxers who make it all about them, who don't want to pass the torch. Floyd didn't want to pass the torch. And then here it is, Floyd still at almost age 50. Floyd is going to be 48 next year. Floyd is pushing 50. Floyd is in his late 30s. Late 40s. Floyd is in his late 40s, but then he still talks about how he thinks he's the face of boxing. You're not. He still tries to take shine away from other fighters, and then he's just a flat-out coward for basically not saying anything in regards to Ryan Garcia. Can we keep it a buck here? Because that's pretty much what we got here. So, Floyd didn't want to pass the torch to any of the black fighters. And then here it is, Canelo, he doesn't seem to want to pass the torch to the Hispanic or the Mexican fighters. And that's unfortunate. Selfish. Myself, I think Canelo should just retire. because he's not giving us the fights we want. And Canelo is not packing them in like he used to. Canelo isn't doing great pay-per-view numbers. You know, his fight with Jaime Munguia didn't do that good. His fight with Charlo definitely didn't do that good. The John Ryder fight didn't do that good. The third fight with Triple G didn't do that good. Canelo ain't been packing them in like he once did. And I think people are starting to see what's happening with Canelo. Canelo is just looking for an easy way out. People can try to say, well, I'm comparing, Canelo and Berlanga to Floyd versus Andre Berto. You can't even compare those two fights together because Andre Berto was a former champion. Canelo should just go away, period. Because I think he might get cold feet fighting Bud because it's going to be so much pressure on him to win. And then due to the fact that people are starting to believe Bud can pull this off, Canelo might get cold feet. He might try to find a way out of the Bud fight if that fight was to take place. But from this day forward, this is just real talk. I don't want to hear none of you. I don't want to hear none of you Mexicans. And yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. I don't want to hear none of you Mexican fight fans or so-called fight fans coming on here telling me or asking me what do I think of this fight. Don't ask the brothers and don't demand that the brothers fight certain fights if you're not going to call Canelo out for this bullshit fight. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a horrible fight. It's a trash fight. Nobody wants to see this fight. This fight is going to flop. It is. Dude, get out of here. Canelo can't beat David Benavidez, dude. Why won't he fight him then? Why won't he fight him then? Hey, appreciate the super chat. Why won't he fight him then? If Canelo can beat David Benavidez, who been the mandatory for 3.5 years, why won't he fight him then? Dude, shut up. Shut up. Get out of here, dude. Ain't nobody playing these games with you. Get out of here, dude. Canelo then had opportunity after opportunity to fight David Benavidez, and he refused to fight him. There's been nothing preventing that fight from happening. There's no hurdles preventing that fight from happening. Canelo don't want to fight him because he's scared of him. And that's it. That's all. Don't come on here making no excuses, dude. Canelo can't beat David Benavidez. He knows it. David Benavidez knows it. Stop it. Shut up. Stop making excuses. Stop capping, dude. Because if Canelo wanted to fight David Benavidez, if Canelo believed he could fight David Benavidez, he would have been fought him by now. He waited till David Benavidez got stripped and then asked for the opportunity to fight for the WBO belt. Excuse me, the WBC belt. He waited till he got stripped. So don't come on here sitting up talking about what Canelo can do and what he will do, stop it. He ain't earned the right to fight who he wants. So don't sit up here lying, dude. You are a liar, and I'm telling you right now, you are a liar. You are delusional. You are on drugs. Canelo got the brakes beat out of him with a simple 1-2 by Bibble. David Benavidez is bigger, faster, more fluent. David Benavidez can fight on the inside. He can fight on the outside. What is Canelo's biggest Achilles heel? A long jab. So just stop it, dude. You delusional. David Benavidez has the discipline. David Benavidez has been fine his last few fights. He's been very disciplined. He's been very disciplined. Stop it, dude. By the way, he easily beat Demetrius Andrade, another dude that Canelo ducked. So just stop it, dude, because you getting cooked. You easy work, dude. You out of your league, man. Stop with this old Canelo, David Benavidez. It ain't got nothing to do with this. Ain't got nothing to do with what happened in the past with David Benavidez. Once again, Canelo has had 3.5 years. David Benavidez has been the mandatory for 3.5 years, and Canelo has chosen to fight everybody but David Benavidez. There have been no David Benavidez said that he would take less. David Benavidez said he would take less money. David Benavidez said whatever it took to fight Canelo, and Canelo still didn't want to fight him. So, dude, just stop it, man. Nobody don't want to hear that BS. Nah, Benavidez is a little more fluent with his offense, and he's a little more fluent, but his style would be a nightmare for Canelo, and Canelo knows it. He knows it. He knows it. Canelo's best chance to beat David Benavidez was 3 years ago. He has no chance of beating David Benavidez. But anyway, you guys, Canelo is a complete fraud. I hope he does lose to Edgar Berlanga, but he isn't. Uh he's probably gonna stop Berlanga probably in the late rounds, or he's just gonna beat the hell out of him for 12 rounds. But he'll drop him at least maybe once in the fight, and he'll hurt him badly probably in the later rounds. But I wouldn't be surprised if he stops Berlanga. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Anyway, this your boy Town. I'm out.